What's up, YouTube? So we are back again with another video, and I'm trying out this cinematic mode. From the looks of it, I'm pretty good, but once we get to the sneakers, we're gonna see if they're able to keep the focus on the sneaker. If they're not, I may just switch the mode out. But that's not what we're here for, right? We're here to have a discussion. Now, I haven't really done a video like this at all, so what I want to discuss is this. We all know Jordan 1 through 14 are by far the most popular Jordans of all time. These are also the Jordans in which he would play in Chicago and create some of the greatest memories in NBA history. Especially my age group, maybe a little bit older. We have a special attachment to these sneakers because we've seen Mike put in the work in these shoes. And it's not like now where they have 1,000 colorways and PEs and basically somebody like LeBron who has 200 fucking different pairs of LeBrons that he wore during the course of the season. This isn't the case, right? We've seen Mike playing these. There was only a couple of pairs that he wore, and those pairs were available to us. So it made it easy for us to have the attachment to those sneakers. Now, 1 through 14, Mike played. He really played 1 through 13, but he did wear the 14 in a couple of games in the finals. And then we get to his retirement. Now, he also played on the Wizards for a couple of years, so he played in the 17 and 18. And I'm not talking about any of the retros that he wore during the Wizards years. So now we're at this moment where there are more Jordans post-career, especially past 14, than they are during his playing days. So 1 through 14, we're at Jordan 37, right? I have my Jordan 37. I have a few more as well. And we're at the Jordan 37, which is crazy, right? This is nuts. That were almost 40 years of Air Jordans. His legacy through his sneakers alone will last forever. So let me reel you back in. Let me reel myself back in as well. We are going to talk about 15 through 37. Which is your favorite Jordans 15 through 37? I'm going to tell you my favorite Jordans 15 through 37. And this is a little bit more difficult. Of course, a lot of sneakers aren't popular. These are obviously the most overlooked Jordans. Nobody likes the new Jordan. I think I may be the only person, me, maybe a couple of guys that I follow, maybe some of the few people that actually actively buy new Jordans. If you guys do follow my channel, you guys know I have a ton of Jordan 36s. I think they were one of the better models, especially from the 30s. Let's talk about the sneakers past 14. The Jordans that everybody hates, right? So, first sneaker released past 14 is the Jordan 15. And this was a time where I believe, from what I understand, Tinker Hatfield was in a space where creating just wasn't coming to him as easy. He was going through some hard times, and we created the Jordan 15. Now you tell me, do you dislike this sneaker as much as everybody else? It's different. And that's the one thing that I will say about Jordan and Tinker. They dared to be different. They dared to push the envelope. They dared to push performance. So this was a daring design, and right off the bat you see this tongue design that, to me, in my opinion, I don't think this is the wackest Jordan of all time, because that is the Jordan 2012, right? We had historic Jordans, especially his last three-peat year. You had the Jordan 11, 12, 13, 14, all which he won championships in, all which we've seen him on court. This is really his first post-retirement sneaker, and it wasn't their best choice, in my opinion. Right? I still like the sneaker, but if I had to grade it out of a 10, right? Jordan 11 is a 10. Jordan 4s are a 10. Like, there's plenty of 10s throughout the lineup. This is probably a 6 for me, right? This is probably a 6 for me. The 2012 is like a 3, if that. The only cool thing about that one was the tech. And again, we'll get back to that later on. But this is definitely a 6 to me. Could be a 5, 6 in my opinion out of 10. And they didn't do the retro any service because they didn't put the zoom unit in which it was supposed to be. So I believe we only got a zoom unit in the heel. It's supposed to be a 4-foot zoom unit as well. They replaced it with just a rubberized cutout. They actually had the cutout still, but they never put a zoom unit in. So we didn't get this sneaker in its full glory as the original version, and I think that also didn't help. Cutting corners on certain sneakers when you have all the money in the world, I think just doesn't make sense. Give these to us like they were the original. Other than that, I don't think that these were as bad as what people say. I just think it was bad timing and the design was so off. If this was the Jordan 17, maybe this is a different discussion. I just think following up the 14, you had big shoes to fill. So that is my take on the 15. Definitely one of the Jordans that I will say, if there's a list of Jordans that were okay, this is on that list for me. Right now, I have a ton of Jordans that I love. Of course, I have every single model, but this is probably on the list that are just okay, right? So we got the Jordan 15 here. And then the following year, and this is why I say, like, there's some gems, man, past 14. The following year, we get the Jordan 16. This is without the shroud. I actually like it better with the shroud. It's just a little annoying because the shroud has to fit through here. And if it's off, you're kind of stepping on it. So to me, with the shroud, it looks even better. The black and red version looks amazing. The cherry version looks amazing. The ginger, the lows look good. This sneaker did not miss. And it doesn't get enough credit. We have a patent leather toe. We have nice leather on the side. Nubuck when you take off the shroud. It's just a really clean sneaker. And then we have the tech, right? We have a full air unit on the back, a 4-foot zoom unit, very reminiscent on what we would get in like a penny line, where we have zoom in the 4-foot, we have a max unit in the heel. And this sneaker was dope. The promotional pictures were dope. The black and red ones were dope. The cherry wood ones were fire. The gingers, they hit on these big time. But this is not a sneaker a lot of people talk about past 14, because in general, nobody talks about these. But these were dope, man. Every colorway hit. This was fire. These were comfortable. This was a great ball shoe. They had great PEs. Ray Allen wore these. I want to say Reggie Miller wore the 16s. I want to say Gary Payton may have worn the 16s. So a lot of people were rocking the 16s. And to me, these are super dope, man. So to me, these are a hit. These are on the list of hits past 14. These are fire. Now, we get to the two shoes in which he played in. So he played in the 17 as a Washington Wizard. These are the 17. Great shoe, luxury hits. I mean, you have snake skin or reptile skin on the back. And he would rock these as a Wizard. You'll get a nice luxurious feel on some of these sneakers. I want these to re-retro so badly. But if I had to rate the 17s in all honesty, if the 15s are a 5, I'll say the 17s are a 7. 16s to me are about a 9. 9 easily. The 17s are about a 7. I think they're not as nice as the 16s. My favorite colorways are the white and red, varsity red. I do have those. I have them upstairs. I also have the white and college blue. I also have the black and metallic silver. Black and metallic silver may be my second favorite colorway. But yeah, this is the Jordan 17. I rate this about a 7. Tell me what you guys think about the Jordan 17 down below. All right. And then we get to the last year in which he played in the NBA. This is the Jordan 18. He would wear this primarily during the 2002-2003 season. And this sneaker was dope as well. Honestly, I have to say my favorite colorway out of these are probably the white and red and the black and blue. I have the black and blue retro up there. I do have the white and red originals. And then I have the retros as well. Also, I have a couple of other pairs. I believe I have the white and UNC lows, the countdown pack, the black and reds, and then I have the other retros, the Toros that came out pretty recently, maybe about 4 years ago. And the 18, it's very simple. It's very luxurious. I love that they went to covering the laces. So we've seen this from the 16. They have a shroud that covers the laces. 17, the same thing. 18 and 19 all cover the laces for the most part. Which one I like better? Between the 17 and 18, that's pretty tough. I'm going to give this about an 8 8.5. I think these are a little bit nicer than the 17, especially the original 17s. I would give this a little bit more of a nod over the 17. But I think these are dope. There you have it, the Jordan 18. Definitely one of my favorite past 14s, for sure. And then we have, and I think a lot of people are going to be surprised, but we have a Jordan 19 for you. This to me is a 9-10. And I know you guys are going to go crazy. No way, you're bugging. The colorways that came with these, the original colorways. First off, this is an original colorway. This is the retro. I do have the actual original somewhere over here. Maybe not. I believe I have it upstairs. So this is the retro version. These are super comfortable, especially the originals. The originals, this leather isn't stiff. This leather was like broken in. It was so soft and supple that you can tell it was made to play basketball in and to break in at that moment. So a lot of the OGs, when they get mad that we aren't getting the same leather, we definitely aren't. If you played basketball in these, there's going to be a major break-in period. If you played basketball in those first day, you can tell that leather is just made different. But we're not going to even get into that. There's double stacked heel zoom. I mean, so much comfort. And what sneaker looks like this? I mean, the colorways was so sick. I have the USA colorway, which was mostly in navy. Jason Kidd wore those. Jason Kidd also wore these. I also have the white and red Midwest colorway. So at this point, they released regional Jordans. And I also I have the black and gold colorway. And then they also had SE editions, which were basically this without the shroud. And I have the Laker colorway. Like, there's so many dope colorways. The Pacer colorways. This one is one of my favorites past 14. And to me, this is a 10 in my opinion. 9-10 easily in my book. I think these are so dope. And the patent leather just hits really nicely. And what sneaker looks like this? Right? I mean, what sneaker looks like this, man? You're not going to find anything that looks like this. I remember seeing Mike on TV, and he had an all gray sweatsuit with the Jordan 19s on. And you can just tell, man, this was a Jordan. This was something in the Jordan lineup, right? So that is the 19. And then still keeping up with the 19, we have an original 19 low. These, come on, man. These are so clean. Mike Bibby made these pretty famous. And he had a bunch of 19 low PEs. He preferred to play in lows. But look at that elephant print. Look at the way this looks. I mean, this is just a dope sneaker. Still keeps the Jordan 19 bottom. And look how clean this looks, man. This is a clean sneaker. A Jordan 3 low would be ridiculous. Now, thinking about it, this is like Jordan 3 vibes, of course, with the elephant print up front. But just a clean silhouette on the upper as well, right? So, that is the 19. One of my favorite Jordans of all time, past 14, are definitely these. Then we get to the 20. Now, the 20 was a big deal. And why it was a big deal, the first time we seen an athlete with 20 signature models, it was 2005. Back then, laser etching was a big deal. 20 years of anything was a big deal. It's not like now. Like, LeBron is on his 20th shoe. And that's just an incredible feat, man. So the Jordan 20 just played off of, different storytelling on the shroud. And this is the retro version. I do have plenty of original colorways as well. I have the Midwest. I have the original paralyzed Jordan colorway in that white and black. This was definitely different. Of course, we have the shroud on this one. And then you put the lace in the shroud. And then you have the 6 pipes. And then you have all the storytelling from his whole entire life on the shroud, laser etched. And then you get the patent leather as well. And then you have the dots that represent the amount of points he had, 69 points. So there's a lot going on this sneaker. This was also inspired by his motorcycle days. If you guys are familiar with the motorsports, I do have the Jordan 4 Lightnings, and those were inspired or made for his team originally. He got into motorcycle riding, but also motorcycle competition, and he owned a team, and this was my motorcycle sneaker. I wore in 2005 the Jordan 20s to ride my motorcycle because that's what this little toe was inspired by. It was inspired by a motorcycle boot, and this was for the shifter, so when you're shifting on the motorcycle. So it's pretty dope concept. As far as rating these as one of my favorites, it's historic to me. So on that level, it's definitely one of my favorites. As far as aesthetics though, I think this is about a 6.5, 7. Is it better than the 15? Maybe. Probably a little bit better than the 15. But aesthetically, they're just so hard to really rock. And then you have the shroud, which makes things a little bit more difficult. It's just my opinion. But aesthetically, these are okay. These are okay. My favorite colorway may be the white version. But yeah, this is the Jordan 20. Solid shoe. Historic shoe. But as far as aesthetics are concerned, not my favorite. So there's that. What do you guys think about the Jordan 20? You let me know, right? And then we get to the 21, the 22, 23. So we have the 21. Now this isn't my favorite colorway of the 21. But there is a Jordan 21 that I absolutely love. And that's the white version, metallic grill with red laces. Now I have it upstairs. I'm not going to go upstairs at the moment. But the technology in these were really great. The leather on these were really great. You have a little bit of suede quilted inside. Double stacked zoom again. I believe these had pods. The grills on the side were from or inspired by a Bentley. Some of them had decoding that you have to use like a black light. Carbon fiber still. This was a dope shoe. 23 embossed. Right? Very clean sneaker, man. But this isn't my favorite colorway. My favorite colorway is the white version. The white version, to me, it's a solid 9. The Jordan 21 overall, it's about an 8 for me. I do like it. I think it is simple. I think it's clean. It's luxurious. Nice leathers, tumbled. But it's about an 8 for me. 7.5, 8. That's how I would rate these. And then we have the Jordan 22. And this is inspired by a fighter plane, and I'm not sure if you can see it on camera, but this whole piece right here is reflective. I still have the wrapping on it. The only thing I really dislike about this sneaker is this metallic bottom. I wish this was just a carbon fiber, and I think that would have looked really clean. But again, the tech in these are pretty dope. The suede on these are really nice. So luxury hits. Again, really nice nubucks or suedes that they use. The lining is quilted again. Nice grill pieces on the side here that really stick out. And then you see the zoom pod, right? So you could switch out the zoom pod for an air unit pod. And that was dope to me, right? So aesthetically, it's not a bad looking sneaker in my opinion. But, it's about a 6, 6.5 for me. It's just one of those sneakers that it's a little plain. I love the luxury hits on it. Is it one of the better ones? No. I do like the camouflage hits on the back, and I like that it's 3M, and I think that's pretty dope. Not one of the better ones, but not a terrible looking sneaker as well. So there's that. Now, if you take a look at these actually both inspired by a fighter plane. So, yeah. All right. And then we have, I think, one of the best out the 20s, and this is a solid 10. The Jordan 23, MJ's DNA woven into the fabric, embroidery throughout the fabric, quilted in the inside. Beautiful materials used on this one as well. We have a nice nubuck suede on the toe. Michael Jordan's signature throughout the toe. Glitter effect on the plastic TPU. Carbon fiber exposed. This was a nice sneaker, man. In footprint, whatever it is, on the bottom as the traction, thumbprint on the inside. And then the suede goes all the way up the tongue like a Jordan 13. So these are a 9, 10 to me. These are one of the better Jordans of all time, past 14. So pretty dope. I can make this a series, honestly, because there's so many Jordans. So maybe I'll stop it here at Jordan 23, and then we could talk about 23 to 30, and then we could talk about 30 to present time. All right, so maybe that's exactly what I would do. There are some dope Jordans past 14. So a lot of people sleep on the Jordans past 14. I personally like the Jordans past 14. These are some of my favorites, right? So if we just do a small little recap, 19s, 23s, 17s, 16s are all some dope Jordans in my opinion. Of course, even the 18s. So, yeah, there you have it. Boom. Jordans past 14. Tell me what you guys think down below. And I'll be interested to hear you guys, man. Because I'm assuming 95% of the people hate these. Hate these. Like, I never hear anybody really talking good about these at all. If you guys like this video enough, I'll continue this. And we could do some of the other Jordans as well. Alright? On that note, hope you have a good one. We out. Peace.